In this video, I'm going to go over a strategy that I personally have used and I've seen many of my agents use to increase their conversions on aged leads. Now, here at our agency, we give agents unlimited new leads and unlimited aged leads, but we do get a ton of sales in aged leads. And there are plenty of agents who prefer to call aged leads just because, I don't know, they just do. So I'm going to go over the strategy that we use to make sure we can build a solid pipeline for aged leads. Please subscribe to my channel and turn on post notifications if you find value in this. Now, the first thing that you're going to do in building a pipeline, you got to understand for final expense sales that just because you get someone on the phone and they're like not ready to buy right then does not mean that you just leave them and don't follow up with them. So what I'm really going to go over here is the follow-up tree that we use and like the strategy for follow-up to make sure you can maximize your conversions on aged leads. This can really be applied to any leads, but I'm teaching agents this week on how to do this with their aged leads because I think it's really more important because like you're more likely to have to follow up with someone usually from an aged lead because a new lead, the intent's like right there. It's a high intent. They're like, yeah, I want it now. An aged lead, the urgency may have to be built up a little bit more. And especially if you're calling your leads immediately as they're generated, someone maybe on social media at their home just flipping through their phone and they're like, okay, I'm ready. I don't have anything going on. You call them, they're ready to do it right then and there. First thing I'm going to go over is how follow-up is critical because three things have to be in alignment. They have to be the decision maker, they have to be able to pay for it, they have to be able to afford it, and have their account information there, and there has to be a need, okay? So you got to make sure there's a need, you got to make sure they can pay for it, and they have their account information, and they got to be the decision maker. So if they don't have a need, then you can't really do anything, but as long as there's a need, you still want to follow up with them. What I have all my agents do is have a piece of paper. So they take a clean sheet of paper as they're calling their leads throughout the day. They write, if they don't make a sale, but they have a conversation with someone, then they write their name, they write the lead's name, the phone number, and then why they have to follow up. Okay, so when you're developing your follow-up list, you want to have that piece of paper, and every day you want to be looking at that like, hey, I got people I'm following up with, I got people I'm following up with, I got this list of people I'm following up with, and you go through the list, and you're like, hey, okay, this person, they didn't have their bank account information on them. This person, their husband or wife wasn't there. This person, they were in the grocery store, they couldn't keep talking, but they wanted, I had to follow up with them. This person, someone came knocking on their door, they told me it was an emergency, they had to go. So you're going to have this list of names and numbers and reasons why you're continuing the follow-up chain, and you're going to go through that twice a day. You want to call them and you want to text them, all right? So this is how you build a pipeline. And every day you want to call them at least twice and text them. And I wouldn't stop following up with them until they tell you like, no, listen, I do not want any insurance. Forget talking to me. I am all set. I do not need this. Like I would even get that like a couple times before you stop following up with them. The important thing with follow-up is that you have to understand you're going to have to call them a bunch of more times before you get them on the phone. The fact that you got them on the phone the first time you called them, you were lucky because they probably don't answer calls all the time. So you're going to have to follow up with them. I would estimate, hey, if I have a follow-up, I'm going to have to call them another 5 to 10 times before they even pick up the phone again. All right. So there's a few reasons that you want to look out for on why you would follow up. All right. First one that I can think of is that they weren't the decision maker. So if you get all the way through a sale with someone and they're like, I don't make decisions on my own, I have to talk to this person. Or if they tell you that in your intelligence gathering and fact finding, then you want to follow up with them. Now, this can do two things. If you're following up with someone who's not the decision maker, all of a sudden they may trust you enough to make a decision with you. I've had that happen to me where like people tell me they're not the decision maker. I need to talk to this person. I need to talk to this person. I need to talk to this person. And then all of a sudden they're like, hey, you know what? I can do it. That's fine. Whatever. I'll just do it. Also, you may get in touch with them when that person is around. Okay. Or maybe they've talked to them and then they're okay with doing it. So if someone is the decision maker, then you want to write that down. So if someone isn't the decision maker, right? So say you got like Betty Johnson. So you put Betty Johnson and then you put her phone number and then you put the reason why you're following up. Betty's not the decision maker and needs to talk to her husband or kid or whatever. Try to get that person's number. Try to get them on the phone together. Next thing is they didn't have their payment info. This could be a trust issue as well, just like the decision maker. So they could be saying, I don't have my account information when they actually do. They just don't trust you. So sometimes multiple follow-ups, what it can do is it can increase their certainty on you. And all of a sudden they like you now, they trust you, and they're like, oh, yeah, actually, you know what? I have it here. Or they may really not have it and they have to go get it. And they're probably not going to go get it the first time that they tell you they're going to go get it. So you're going to have to be in touch with them and be consistent with the follow-up to make sure that they actually do go get their account information. Another reason, they're not home, they're working, they're busy or whatever, right? When you call, if they say that right when you call them, if they're like, yeah, I'm calling about blah, 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 whatever you say in your script to tell them you're calling about insurance, they're like, I'm busy, I can't do this right now. Make sure you ask them, if life insurance or burial program is still something that's on their to-do list. Hey, is this still something on your to-do list? Getting this taken care of. If they're like, yes, it is, set a call back and stay in touch with them. If they're like, no, it isn't, then I wouldn't keep calling them. Now, what's going to happen though, sometimes busy people are actually the best clients because one, no one else is going to follow up with them enough to get the sale. Number two, busy people usually have more money than people who aren't busy. And number three, they can usually make decisions. So they'll want to get it done quickly and just get it completed. Another reason is the call got disconnected. So say you're on the phone with someone, everything's going to it good, all of a sudden the call drops and you're like, what the heck happened? You want to write that name down, the number, and say call got disconnected when we were at this, right? We were like, about to give the rates, call got disconnected. Another one, they wanted to shop around. Put their name, their number, got to the quotes, told me they wanted to shop around, couldn't overcome it. If they're shopping around, I would call them like every day. All these people, I would call them every single day. Even if they're like, call me in a week, call them the next day, and then a couple days after that. If you have a CRM, you can schedule the follow-up chain. But even if you have a CRM, I really hope you guys write down on a piece of paper the leads that you're trying to follow up with. Another reason, they may not be comfortable giving you their information over the phone. So what you would do is you would write name, number, not comfortable giving me information over the phone, and I'm going to follow up with them. So I would make sure that in your CRM, you mark that if after you've called them like 10 times, if they don't answer or they're max of 10 times, like if they don't answer, they're still not interested, just move on, right? If you get in touch with them, like every time you call them and they tell you like 2 or 3 times they're not interested, just move on from it. But this is a huge way to build your pipeline and get a lot of sales. Like I know people that write like 15 to 20,000 AP a week. They're writing almost all follow-ups. Like most of their calls are most of their sales are follow-ups. There are plenty of people who do one call closes and write a lot of deals with that. But I know a lot of people who do a lot of sales from their follow-up. So this is like a crucial part to your sales system that you guys are want to get down and you guys are going to want to learn. You're going to want to watch this next video coming up too on age leads. This will really help you capitalize on your age leads. You're going to learn our system and what we do here to capitalize on our age leads, some more stuff. And I hope you enjoy the video. Subscribe to the channel, turn on post notifications, and stay tuned for the next one.